Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you were able to get out in nature like Starlight was earlier. And yeah, the temperature has been funny out here. So anyway, I don't know what your area is as far as weather goes. So this morning it started off warm and it's been getting colder, throughout the day, and very windy, and it's supposed to be a cold weekend here. So Starlight's gonna have to get some more sweaters. So anyway, I hope you're bundling up, depending on where you are. And out here, I don't know if I want to say this, it's like bipolar weather out here. It's just, you never know what to expect. So anyway, I love you all, and I really do. I hope you're getting out, and you might have to bundle up like Starlight does. I don't care how goofy I look as long as I'm warm and comfy. So make sure you do that, and also make sure you always have some time, or make some time to let the ones that your loved ones, to let them know how much you appreciate them. And action speaks louder than words. So don't just say it. You can always show them how much you appreciate them by doing little things. It's not a lot. And anyway, besides that, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can share. Sorry about that. Starlight's got a lot going on in her mind. Also, you could share my videos with a family member, a friend, I'm trying to think of what have I seen recently, is I'm gonna say a rabbit. Yes, I did see a rabbit, silly old rabbit. And also you could share my videos with a ferret. Again, another ferret. So anyway, I do love all of you, and besides sharing my videos, don't forget the notification bell like Starlight did, ding, ding, ding. Plus, you can leave me a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist. Plus, check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, I still have to study. It does take a long time to study on certain topics. So I have it started today. I was working on other projects today. So because Starlight is going to start something soon in this area, so I'm just getting prepared for all of that. So Starlight has been working on this. I've really been pushing myself, and I will be working on that later on today. So anyway, I thank you all for joining Starlight out here, and some of you might be new, and thank you all of you for the ones that have been here and support and loving and supporting Starlight, even the ones that leave Starlight a message down below, beep, beep, beep. So anyway, today it is, I was thinking, I always can have something to talk about. Starlight's always got something to share, or to tell you. So it's all because I do know people that are going through stuff right now. And so could be for anyone out there. Yeah, it could be you, but don't worry. It's okay. It's people that have a hard time asking for help. And that is hard. I mean, like, sometimes we could come from families that said, don't ask for help, don't ask for anything, you're not allowed to, or I'll beat your, so we all come from different backgrounds, as far as why we do what we do. Is it something that we were allowed to as children, or was it something that we were told you don't do that? like it's great to be independent. That's what Starlight, I am an independent female, you know. I've lived by myself more, like I've been living with myself by myself more than being in relationships, I believe. So I am this independent where, I've learned to fix things. You got, like I know how to fix some things, not everything, but especially not cars. But, I'm Miss Independent. When I used to live in my own apartment, I had furniture that was heavy, and Starlight, you know what? Rearrange furniture, no problem. I didn't need a man to help me to move the furniture. And I'm not saying I don't need a man. Is that, like, I do have a man in my life somewhere out there, but not that we're connected yet. So I am independent in so many ways, like I learned that as I was really young. I learned that is that I realized, when I was asking for help, as a young adult, I realized I wasn't getting the help, number one. Like I need a ride, I didn't have a car, need a ride to the store, need to take my kids to the doctors, and then I quickly learned, Starlight, if you want anything done right, do it yourself. So I learned that, I learned it was very hard to depend on people. It was causing more stress in my life by trying to depend on people. So I learned really quick is to, Starlight, you're going to have to find a way of doing this yourself. So it has been a great thing to do this because now I know I can do anything. Right now I'm working on a project that, Starlight needs some help from the library people. And they're so sweet here. They're very, they get paid for this, but they really do a great job here. So it is great, hey, I need some help. I'm working on this right now. But you know what? To be honest with you, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to, mess up the computer, lose the work that I, spent on, doing, so please, could you give me a hand? I need help. Starlight has, it is kind of strange, is on this whole journey since the time that I've been, out of my apartment, living in my car, it's a year now, a little bit more than a year because of October, so what is it, a year and 18 days or something? No, today's the 17th, so happy full moon to all of you. Happy full moon in Aries, and this is also the Hunter's moon for this month. So Starlight did her meditation for that today. But, like I was saying, is on this journey, the spiritual journey that I've been on, is, wow, that's all I've been doing is asking for help. Isn't that something? I've been this dependent my whole life, really just, I'm not going to ask you for help because, I just was learning it always was backfiring on me. So, and there are a lot of men and women that, and I am not one of those, is that, I don't need a man and I don't need a female, that they think that they can do things all on their own. You're going to need someone and you're going to need help, so we can't do this all on our own. We're supposed to be, a huge family here, but you have to be wise on who you ask for help. And just because somebody helps you out, it's great that people can help you out or will help you out or do help you out, but you've got to be cautious with that also because, a lot of times people will help because they want something in return. So it is so wise to that there, sometimes we have to check with people and say, what do I owe you after this? Sorry, I got an itch. And Starlight actually still has to grow her hair out before I get my first trim job. So anyway, so you got to be wise if somebody helps you out, a lot of times, not all the times, they might have, a motive, why they're helping you out. They might, want something in return later, and I get that a lot on this journey here. But my whole point of this video is there's some of you out there that could be going through this, and honesty is the best policy. I just made a video the other day. Now, if I said that I always tell the truth 100% all the time, I would have to say that would be a lie. But I said I like tell the truth like 99.99% of the time. So there's times that Starlight slips up, and I don't want to say a white lie because that's bullshit. That they put colors like that. Not that white is a color, but it is kind of ridiculous how this matrix and how society has these different sayings, like a white lie, or so a white lie, like it's okay to have a white lie because white people, people of color, and then it's like, so if you're bad, it's got to be a black sheep, of the family. Why, the negative, the dark, the light, whatever. So so in life, is honesty is going to get you further than lying and fibbing. And actually, speaking of being honest, today I bought yellow envelopes because I wanted to mail somebody something. I got something free, and I'm like, I got stamps, all I need is envelope, mail that out. I know they can't use it right now, but they would appreciate that I was thinking about that person. And so I went to Walmart and I bought stuff because somebody blessed me with money, and I had a lot of needs. I had to get toothpaste, like without fluoride, and I had to get floss, and really, things that I can't really get out at food pantries or at other places. So I got those yellow vanilla envelopes, put them in my car, and then when I needed them, I couldn't find them. So I went back to Walmart and said, hey, and then I had to return some pens because they weren't working good the way I wanted them. And so I returned them, the pens back, and said, hey, I left something here. I bought some stuff here yesterday, but, I believe I left these vanilla envelopes behind, and so they were really sweet because I did have a receipt. They looked in their box to see if there was any, because it was the next day by the time I could get there, because I couldn't call them on the phone and couldn't get a hold of them. So I went the next day, and so I let them know, hey, I came in here, bought these yellow envelopes, but they're not in my car, so I must have left them here. And so they were really sweet. They had me go back to the store, go get the same envelopes. They checked it, made sure, and then they sent me on my merry way. Well, today I realized, or yesterday, I found those envelopes, and most people would have just kept those extra envelopes, but not Starlight. I am that honest chick. I am that honest chick, and I've done this many times. Even if I found wallets before with money in it, brought it to the police station. The officer looked at me like I took money out of it, like because I said there was no money in it, and I got a reward, like $120, I believe, or something like that, $200. I needed the money. So by doing good deeds, like that, without even, I wasn't expecting anything, I was just dropping that off, but with the envelopes at the Walmart, you wouldn't believe the look on the staff's face at Walmart. They're like, what? Like, we don't normally get this, like I could have kept those, but God wouldn't let me. Starlight wouldn't let herself do that. I said, oh no, God wouldn't let me do that. It would be wrong, because they didn't, really. So it is so wise to be honest. And the reason why I'm saying this is there's a lot of people, because the way society, and this actually happens with the military men and women. I did talk to a a lady that was going through some shit. She opened up, and I knew it before I even talked to her. Like, I don't see auras, but man, I could feel the energy. I knew, she was going through some rough times. And when she opened up and told me, I was like, wow, that was a lot that she was dealing with. She wasn't dealing with just one problem. She was dealing with multiple stuff. I had a lot going on. I was like, wow, So is that it is so important, like to be honest. And society, even churches has taught me to like always have a smile all the time, act like your life is great, because their whole like reason for that. And I know I'm always knocking churches. Well, hey, really, if you've been out there enough, is the way they looked at it is Christians that are living for God, that are not going to burn in a lake of fire forever, because actually Jesus already paid the price, but they still deceived me in thinking that I was going to burn in hell. That's how I got saved. I'm like, and then I found out later. I had to put all the connected dots until way later in my life, how I was deceived in that anyway, to pull me into the church. But so with that is, they were saying, well, because you're a Christian now, that you believe in God, and that you gave, you confessed your sins and accepted Jesus in your heart, and that you want to follow him, well, you're not allowed to look like you're having a bad day, because how is that going to bring more people in the church if the people at the church don't look like they're having a good time, like the people that claim that they're Christians. So you weren't even allowed to really go to church and really express how you really are feeling and really what you're going through. So and this is how people end up wearing a mask, where, okay, inside I feel like shit. Everything and I'm not, God knows I'm just bringing this all up just to make it a point, is that everything is upside down, inward, outward, backwards in my world right now. Nothing's going right, and God knows that that's not true in my life. I'm just using that as an example. And so now the society and everyone else is teaching me to put this mask on with a smiley face and just go around everywhere. But inside, I'm going through some shit. I'm struggling. I don't even know how, I'm just making this stuff up. I don't know how I'm going to get through today. Starlight knows this shit. My mind, all the thoughts and the problems that I'm dealing with and worrying about how am I going to pay the bills? How am I going to, give my kids what they need? How am I going to, take care of the problems that I'm dealing with my kids? And, where, you could even have problems at work, Starlight's got to do some exercise here, is that you're having troubles at work where you work your ass off, you do all the hours that you can and still don't have enough money, So, and then on top of that, you're carrying a big load from past relationships and abuse and all that stuff. And, and you're supposed to walk around with a happy, face, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. See? But, if somebody could read your aura, even though you could dress really good, put on the right clothes, get your hair all prim and proper, and, even put some deodorant. Starlight went, I forgot, but, put some deodorant on, and you might smell good, look good on the outside. But if somebody knows how to read an aura, which I'm, learning about, is what does your aura say? But it even goes deeper than that, is what I'm learning, is the aura is kind of far away, and your aura can change different colors, depending on what you're going through. So I can actually have, at one moment, have a great aura, and another moment not have a great aura. So you got to really, it's really what is the core of what's going on with that person. So now everybody's, not everybody, but a lot of people are walking around and faking it till they make it. Yeah, I just got to get through the day. How you doing? I'm doing great. But inside, I learned that, a while back. I was one of those people that went around and like, how's your day? And all, I didn't want them to know my day, because I learned when I was younger, when somebody asked me how my day was, I gave it to you. And then I turned a lot of people off. I didn't realize I was an energy vampire at that point. I didn't realize that now I lowered their frequency and their vibration because Starlight just needed some help. And I didn't know that for years, is that I didn't realize how I was affecting people in a negative way by telling them really how I was doing. So, but this is how society has taught us it's okay, to have a day where things are not going good. This is life. So what I'm saying here is because I did watch an awesome video today. It was a great message, about a Hollywood star that just passed away. I don't even know the guy's name. I'm sorry, because I'm not into the Hollywood stars, but the story was sad, where, like, how did he fall, like how many floors, so and now he's not here anymore. So there's a lot of people out in the world right now that are mourning over this man that they looked up to or liked or loved, family members or friends or even fans out there. So this is why I wanted to kind of bring this up, because there's a lot of people out there, and I do know people out there that are doing this. They got the mask on every time, their voice, their voice says something. Starlight used to, fake it till she made it long time ago with, how you doing? Now I'm actually practicing on how you doing? Well, to be honest with you, today I'm doing okay. That's all. So there are people out there that, because of society, the church, the world out there outside of you has taught you that you don't want to show anybody really how you're doing. Just to say you're doing great when and I thought that was the right thing to do, because I learned when I was younger, nobody wants to hear your shit. Nobody cares. See, that those are lies. See how that happens? Those are lies, that nobody cares. And that's exactly my mindset at that time when I was younger, is that nobody cares. Nobody wants to hear that Starlight's having a lousy day, And that is really sad, because I do notice, like, even when you watch videos and somebody starts talking about themselves, their vibration goes weird, isn't it? It just, people have a hard time with that. Some people, they will watch these shows on TV, like talk shows, and it, they're drawn into negativity, all like they feed on this. They will watch it, like those Jerry Springer shows. Sometimes he's got some, Oprah Winfrey, if that's how you say her name. She'll have like different shows, but a lot of times they will help these people out through what they're going through. Some of them do, so, but some people are addicted to that stuff. Starlight can't handle that stuff. So what this video is about today is, it is okay to ask for help. I do know people that are not being honest with themselves. They are lying to themselves. They want to deceive me by making me think that they're doing good. By saying, oh, I'm okay. Really, just okay? I'm all right. Really, just all right? Or here's another great one, and I used to do this. I'm fine. Are you really fine? So, it's okay. We all have our days. You know, there's some people, just like right now, there's people that lost somebody. So what do you think they're going to say right now is, hey, how you doing today? Sometimes I realize that sometimes that's the worst question to ask some people out in public. I mean, I've done that before where I'm like, hey, how you doing? And boom, I got blown out of the water with negativity. You know, they really told me, you know, and I didn't see it coming. It just, and you know, hey, they were being honest. At least I give them that. They were being honest how they really were doing, you know. But sometimes in this area here, you know, like it's hard. I ask a lot of homeless people how they're doing, and then I realize that's not really the greatest question, Starlight. They're living outside in the cold. How do you think they're doing? You know, because this is happening right here. That will be another video. So, so this video here is you need help, you know, and some people, they're in denial. They're depressed. Their things are not going good for them, but they're in denial. They won't even admit that they even have a problem. So that is a problem, because the first step of actually getting help is to admit that there's a problem. And before that is first you got to recognize that there is a problem. Just like even in a relationship, you know, if you think things are going good and then the other person might not really be going along with everything as far as the relationship, and you might like start noticing different changes in them, you know, like their routine changes, and then you're not seeing them a lot, and then you're like, something's not right here. Something, you know, it's like the Matrix, you know, like I seen this today. This is messed up, like deja vu. I think that's what when the cat comes through, the same black cat, and then you see another black cat. Well, today 3 times, one lady. It's kind of funny because I was looking down, and then when I looked up, there's a lady walking through, and then I looked down, you know, doing my own thing, and I looked up, the same lady walked through again, and I looked down, and it's kind of weird. Look up, the same one. I was like tripping my ass out this morning, but I had to share that with you. Is, you know, I don't know why I threw that in there, but you gotta really, in life and society, is that you gotta first, like I noticed, that's the whole thing, is I noticed there's something crazy going on here. You know, the same lady walking by 3 times in front of my car, you know, same exact, you know, so they changed something in the Matrix. So you got to watch for those things when you're going out with somebody, even your kids. Their behavior starts, you know, and the kids really need help on this, not just adults. And that's why it's so important that you keep the door of communication open to your kids and your family and your spouse. I have somebody right now, I am like amazed, is you know what this person has taught me? I can open up to this, a man, imagine that, a man. I can open up and express myself openly, even though I say sorry all the time when I open up. It feels good when the door of communication is wide open. And sometimes I might open up and say and express something to this beautiful man, and you know, because of my past, I'm waiting for, you know, like a negative response, but I haven't gotten one. I have opened up and expressed some crazy shit, and you know what? He responds in the correct way. He leaves his ears open to hear what Starlight has to say, or read my messages without being a jerk and making me feel bad about opening up. How many of you parents do that with your kids? I have never done that with my kids. I know what it's like having that door of, you know, communication open. That's why a lot of times we go through stuff when we were kids, because it was a lesson. You know, you got a choice later on if you do have kids later on, are you going to repeat the same shit to your kids? You know, because where I grew up, children ought to be seen and not heard. Have you said that to your kids recently? Because there's going to be a day, or there could be a day, I don't want to say that there's going to be a day, but there could be a day that they're ready to end their life and all they've ever heard from you is, you know, kids should be seen and not heard. And there's relationships like that. You know, so you got to keep that door of, oh, you know, if you love that person, you say you love that person, don't shut the door of communication out. Like this beautiful man, you know, that I write to every day, is that I can open up. I never knew what that was like without being called, what are you, crazy, or what are you, stupid? You know, and this is how a lot of parents talk to their kids. If they come to you and ask for help, make time for them. I know a lot of times you could be busy, but you got to make time for them, kids. You don't want them to go and try to get some help by a stranger, or maybe another relative that's really not going to give them the right kind of advice. So just like with you, you know, you got to be honest with yourself and say, you know what? She's right. My life is a mess. I've been putting a mask on, and you know, I don't want people to know that I'm not perfect. Starlight knows what that's like. I'm a Virgo. I'm not perfect. I don't want people to judge me that way. You know, and I see it all around in this area here. A lot of homeless people, man. A lot of them, all around, everywhere I go. You know, and the way society actually judges them with their eyes and their expressions on their faces, you know, not understanding what they're going through. So, you know, admitting that you actually have a problem is the first step of getting help. You can say you're fine, I'm okay, I'm all right. But what's going on inside of you? Because if you're just saying I'm all, you know, you're wearing a mask. Who cares what other people think? Be honest first with yourself. There's a lot of people that can help you out. You just have to, you know, like to say, you know what? I've been keeping this on the back burner too long. I actually need to, you know, because things are not getting better in my life right now. If I don't do something about this now, I'm afraid of what's gonna happen if I don't. And that is so important. You know, you can have that mountain get so big before one day you're gonna explode and, you know, either hurt somebody or hurt yourself. Now, I never was a person to hurt other people, but I can't say that about myself. And so that's why it is so important. Like the story that I heard this morning, it did touch my heart, even though I'm not a Hollywood fan out there like Michael Jackson maybe, but where is that Michael Jackson anyway? You know, so it is so important that, you know, you admit, number one, that yeah, I do recognize I definitely have some issues going on. It's just like your health. You know, there's people I know right now that they got some health problems. I was going to talk to an officer and say, you know, there's this homeless chick here. She's got some kind of memory problem. She's stuck here. She wants to get to Arizona. She's like my mother's age, living in her truck in this cold. I didn't even realize she had, it must be getting worse because, you know, and my brother had something like that going on. So it's like she's trying to get somewhere, but her debit card's all messed up. And then she gets a whole, you know, like her son, I don't know what is going on. Like, you know, I think she might forget to communicate with her son, you know, about the problem. because it's been like 2 weeks, still working on trying to get a card, to have money to be able to drive. She doesn't even know how to use a GPS on her phone, doesn't even know how to use a phone, So I'm concerned about her, and I'm concerned about any of you out there. If you're dealing with something and you are too embarrassed for it, what? Let that go. If you got kids and you're not taking care of your needs like you're supposed to, the way God wants you to, what are you gonna, your kids, your family needs you. I read something on somebody's shirt one time: the world would not be a better place without you. That was a beautiful shirt. I was like, wow. So you gotta love yourself enough to notice the signs that you're not doing good. And just like I was saying with your health, if your body's falling apart, yeah, it's tough going out to the doctor. But you know what? If you don't take care of it, just like your car, I got car issues right now, and so it's going to get taken care of. I know at least what's going on, but just like a car, there could be something that I don't think is really a big problem, and I could ruin my whole car, just like your body. So you can't ignore those signs and symptoms of, like, you're not getting out in nature, you're eating anything and everything, you could be gaining weight, you might be on some kind of medication, you're sleeping all the time, you don't have any ambition to get out and do stuff, you're sad, you're depressed, things are not going the way you thought, you can't deal with it all. You do need somebody to help you with these problems. You can't do this all on your own. It's putting that pride down, and this is the way society has brainwashed a lot of us and programmed us to believe and think that we can do this, we're strong, we can do this on our own. Blank that. I thought the same thing too long time ago before I tried to end my life. So we do need each other, and the world would not be a better place without you. You got people out there that, it would devastate them if they lost you because you did not go get the help like you should have when you knew that there's something wrong. If you're sleeping a lot and you're not happy and you're dwelling on the things that happened in the past, you can't forgive yourself, you gotta reach out for help. You gotta, make that phone call, take that step. Because you got some people out there that are counting on you and they need you in your life, in their life. So anyway, I love you so much, and I know what it's like trying to do everything on your own, believe me. When I said before a long time ago about how I used to bring my kids, everywhere was in, a mile to get to the store, a mile, to get to this school. Well, I didn't tell you how many bags of groceries Starlight was carrying to get back home from, and that sounds like you. You're carrying a lot of shit, like going up, trying to climb a mountain with a big, huge backpack or a big camping bag, You gotta learn to let that shit go, and put that pride away so you can get the kind of help that you really need and deserve, because the world would be a better place with you here. So anyway, I do love you all. This is Starlight. I really hope you get a lot of help from this video. You can give this video a thumbs up, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you can leave a message down below, beep, 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 and you could share my videos with your family, your friends. Let's see, a pigeon and this is what I meant to say the other day, is a black lab. That's the kind of dog my brother had. You could share my videos with a black lab. Plus, don't forget the notification bell, ding, ding, ding. And you can also check out my playlist. Plus, you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. It's time to put that pride down and give yourself permission to get help. They got counselors out there, therapists. I had a great therapist. She actually, even though I don't pay her money anymore, she called me up and said, "Happy birthday this year." She was the first one that reached out to me and said, "Happy birthday," before she went on vacation. So there are great people out there. They even have telephone numbers, things, you could get help. If you got somebody in your life that that you trust and that would give you good advice, go let them know. Let them know that you need help. It is important, So anyway, I do love you. This is Starlight, and you can check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. Sending tons of love to all of you. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.